Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Are you ready to sing today? Well, we were singing yesterday, weren't we? Yes, sir. Verses 5 and 6 in Psalm 47 told us that we were to lift him up with a shout and sing. So we're back again, and we're still worshiping the Lord here. Verses 7 and 8, we've not stopped. 7 and 8. Now, 7 and 8 really focus on the theme of God's sovereignty. He's king. And we're going to talk a lot about that here in these two verses. But we're still singing to him, too. So we still have this worship theme going on, this idea of joy and shouting and so forth. Let me read for you verses 7 and 8. For God is king over all the earth. Sing a skillful psalm. God reigns over the nations. God sits upon his holy throne. Now, if you ever needed a reason to sing to the Lord, you can always go here to Psalm 47 and pick this up, because this is a pretty good reason to be singing to him, isn't it? He is king over all the earth. Now, we already had that. We had that up in verse 2. Up in verse 2, we were told, he is a great king over all the earth. Notice 2. For the Lord Most High is to be feared, a great king over all the earth. Now we come down to 7, and that's repeated for us. For God is king over all the earth. So we have this theme very strong here in 7 and 8. King over all the earth. That is, he's sovereign over the earth that you're made of and over the earth that you can look outside your door and see. He's sovereign over all of it. He is in charge and in control. Verse 7 tells us to sing a skillful psalm. We've had these skillful psalms. As a matter of fact, the sons of Korah have been very adept at creating these psalms. This is the Maskil psalm. And we've had that here several times in the Psalter leading up to this. Several of these sons of Korah psalms were called Maskil. And it just means a psalm that instructs, or a psalm of skill. That is, you're learning something from it as well as singing it. So this particular psalm is said, sing this to God. Sing this kind of psalm to God, skillful. That is, that it's not just something empty or vapid. It's not something vain, but it has meaning. There's a purpose to it. There's a theme in it. It teaches something, because God delights in that kind of detail, you know? And so sing something that's skillful to him. A lot of this contemporary music that we have today, some of it is skillful and some of it is not. Some of it is just vapid and vain, but some of it is very, very skillful. Some of the hymns that we have in our hymnals are very skillful. Some of them are just not at all. They're kind of vain and empty. And so, you know, we need to choose wisely what it is that we're singing to him, because of who we're singing to. We're singing to the great king over all the earth. So what does he deserve? Does he deserve something that's just haphazard and handy? Or does he deserve something that's thoughtful and meaningful and deep? Oh, that's what he deserves, you see. He deserves the skillful psalm. Verse 8, God reigns over the nations. If there was ever any question, let's put an end to it right now. God is in charge. He reigns over the nations. That's all of them, Israel and the rest. He's in charge of all of it. He's in control. You know, men make their plans, but the Lord's the one that guides the feet. So he's the one that's overseeing the entire plan. And, verse 8, God sits upon his holy throne. He's reigning. And what does a king do when he reigns? He sits on a throne and he pronounces from that throne his will to be done in the earth over which he reigns, in the nations over which he reigns. God is king over all of it. So, what are we to do? Well, let's decide that we're going to sing a skillful psalm to him today. Take it up in our mouths and our hearts, with our minds, with our instruments, with our voices, and sing. Join me again tomorrow, and we'll look at verse 9 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.